You're listening to the Soju Sessions, episode 50 on the Soju Talk Nation podcast feed. I'm your host, Crispy, also known as Crispy Wonton or simply just Anton. And on today's episode, Reach returns to the show. And we had to call kind of an audible here. So we had originally planned to do a Queendom 2 episode 3 full discussion for the entire episode. But on April 16th at Coachella, CL performed on the main stage, the Head in the Clouds 88 Rising stage. And then at the very end of the performance, 21 returns back. All four members, Sandara, Minzy, Bomb, all joined CL on this very memorable, very historic moment for K-pop, for this group. So I had to talk about the reunion with my dear friend Reach, who is also a 70-year-old old head. He grew up with 21, so I think the timing was just right for us to really get into it. We talk about just our emotional journey with 21 and what it meant for us having the group back together again. And then we get into the Queendom 2 discussion where we talk about the last episode. We just go into a lot of details about how we felt, and just a lot of good vibes today. I would say a lot of good vibes, a lot of great timing on our part, and really good to have my buddy Reach to emotionally support me through all of this. Just a lot of good things in K-pop right now. Something for everyone. All right, let's get into it. Coming up, my chat with Reach on the Soju Sessions. Joining Soju Sessions, a very thoughtful, multilingual, worldly, old folks person as well. He probably also is around 70, 80 years old, just like me. Grew up with K-pop the majority of his life. He is a big 21 fan as well. The one and only Reach. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, how's it going? I'm back.
It's great to have you. We had planned some things ahead of time, but yesterday at Coachella, when CL performed on the main stage, as she does with 88 Rising, she killed it, absolutely. And then she went into her final song, Hello Bitches, a religious experience if you've ever seen it live. I saw it live at Head in the Clouds in the fall last year. Amazing performance. And then she disappears off backstage. The dancers are finishing up the set. The lights go down. The smoke machine continues. And up out of the ashes, 4 shadows that could only be 21 reunite on the stage of Coachella 2022. Reach, how do you feel about the girls? They're back. They're here. And they absolutely destroyed that Coachella stage. What are your first overall feelings, takeaways just from the idea that they're back?
Honestly, the way you just describe it right now, like I can just picture it in my head. Hair standing up. Sadly, I found out through a tweet because I couldn't, I can't go to Coachella. But I think I tried to find out lots of fan cams, lots of videos. Of course, they're there. And you just shared me a really good one, really good high quality one.
Yeah, man. No, I was not actually by my computer when it happened. I was away, and then my phone started to blow up. I got messages from friends like, "Hey, did you see this?" It's like, "What?" And then they sent me Twitter links, and I was like, I'm not on Twitter as much as you think I am, but okay. And then I saw the image of the 4 members in the shadows, and I lost my mind. I had to stop everything. I opened up my phone. I watched it. I watched the different cuts. There was the official stream that people had cut and then re-uploaded onto the internet, YouTube, Twitter. It was there for a good, I would say like 5 or 6 hours. This morning it was removed. So that official one is gone, but there is a fan cam that has over 1 million views right now. It's like 1.4 million views.
Saw that one.
It's a great quality version. You get to me, it felt like I was in the crowd. I was like, oh, this is a perfect like viewpoint. Shout out to the person, does not move. You get the whole thing. So CL ends her set with Hello Bitches, and then the surprise reveal happens. This is exactly the setup from Mama 2015, where CL is kind of at the height of her powers at that point. Much like right now, I feel like CL has a renaissance as far as her new album in 2021, touring, the fact that she is so recognizable to a lot of OG K-pop fans, but really hits the appeal of kind of the Western hip hop R&B kind of vibe. She is very multilingual as well, so she is doing all the shows. How do you feel about this kind of being a parallel poetry, if you will, to that moment in 2015?
I don't know what to think because I was literally about to sleep. I did my social routine before sleep. I saw it and I sleep like 2 hours later, pretty much. It brings back so much. Watching Mama, what year was it?
2015, 7 years
15?
ago. Yeah.
Felt like so long ago, but when they disbanded like really bad. It was like an awkward, not sure. It's not clean. Can you say disbandment?
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
This disbandment, dismantling, however you want to put it, it was.
It wasn't clean.
Yeah,
it wasn't clean.
It was very much indicative of kind of like the old traditional company way of like controlling your idols, right? It feels like things have gotten better just in modern times, but I think that was still like a inflection point of, oh no, like these companies still feel like they have control over people, right? Say what you will about YG, all the positive and negative things that they've done over the past couple of years, that was still just a really tough point that I think pushed people off of YG completely. But kind of let's get into the performance a little bit. So, we get the girls coming back through. What was your favorite moment or member that when you saw them, you're like, oh, here we go. We're back.
Minzy did not escape. I don't want to cuss. A mother effing beat. She is just literally she just performed yesterday and then second stage today. I mean, she was we know she's a great dancer, but today she's like as if like she hadn't danced in like months or years. To be honest, I didn't follow her solo career, so I don't know how that's going, but this stage, I think, kind of they describe what being on stage meant for her, because I was just wow. That I know it's CL stage, but I think she's like the most eye catching.
100%. I echo everything that you mentioned about Minzy. Just for background on her solo career, she's had a few ups and downs with different label changes. I think right now she is, so right now she's doing her own thing with her own label, I think with her sister. Her songs have been hit and miss. I've tried listening to them. She did a song in Tagalog. Very cool.
Wow.
Very famous in the Philippines for a brief number of years. 21 being famous in the Philippines. The fandom definitely followed her, and she did. I don't remember the details, but I do know that she was doing work at a dance studio, either as a director at the dance studio or just working on choreography with up and coming dancers. So she's still like keeping those muscles fresh, right? But to what extent? Because we don't really see her performing anymore. But like you said, when you see her and just go into her dance section. It's not really a solo because she's up there with the four members, but she just explodes off the stage, and you're like,
Wow.
you're back. Wow, amazing, right?
They are the best.
I hope I pronounced that correctly. And
you know,
I mean, it's 21. I mean, honestly, like I'm really good at parroting Korean, all thanks to 21. And I think with 21, because a lot of those members are multilingual, they pronounce things in a way that is similar to how I would pronounce it. If that makes sense, right? So I can at least follow the cadence of how they would sing certain words or lyrics, and it's just. I mean that's the special thing for 21 for me, right? It's like I can connect in so many different aspects of like how I grew up with K-pop to them. I want to. Well, let me shout out Bomb first for being there. I think for the most part, like I think she's still a great vocalist, but I think her performance ability definitely has, declined with age. I think if you don't practice, if you don't do it often, it's definitely a thing. But she was a trooper. She hung in there and she did the choreography. And honestly, I was just happy to see her doing her thing.
Me too. I mean, if you kind of like look at all the 4 members, we know CL is active. Even if we haven't seen her much, we know she's been working back trying to get things out. Minzy, of course, she has her solo stuff. Also, we saw her. What was that show when she did with us? The Something Sisters.
Yes.
Is it?
It's the show with Somi, and Tiffany was on there too. I think for
that's the season 1. It's the second season.
Yeah.
But we know. Well, I forgot the name, but I'll back to it.
Sister Slam Dunk.
Slam Dunk. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember the Korean title, but I think that's the English one that you can search and you can find pictures of Somi, just like her thumbnail, right?
But we saw Minzy there, and she, she's like hadn't skipped a beat either.
Yeah. I've seen a couple clips of small performances and appearances she's made. Dara hosted a talk show, a variety show pretty regularly over the past couple of years, and then she had Minzy on it's like 2 years ago now, 2020. Yeah, and then she did like a dance bit, and she's definitely like all like, you can tell she hasn't missed a beat, right? So let's jump into Dara. That's Ate Dara for me. All the Filipinos, we have claimed her. For those who don't know, Dara grew up in the Philippines. So born in Korea, raised in the Philippines. Her dad moved the family there for business. She is fluent in Tagalog. She has said several times that she is far more fluent in Tagalog than she is in Korean. Amazing. So we as Filipinos have claimed her. Sorry. Reach. When you saw the shadow and the outline of the hair, what were you thinking?
How does it stay up? How does it stay? Because she danced so hard, and that thing was straight as like a needle,
like cement.
Very, I guess, the upgraded version of her. That's her signature look, like that. That tie up.
Mm-hmm.
That hairstyle, that's like a signature look from the original I'm the Best MV. Just everyone go back. Look at all of work.
Yeah.
Just like when Big Bang came out, everyone went back and study.
And re-listen to all of their songs and discography. Yeah,
I did.
I spent 3 days listening to Big Bang last week. It was last week. Holy crap! Yeah.
Was it really only last week?
Yeah. It's less than a week between Big Bang and 21. What year are we? Are we in a time machine?
Wait a minute. Was there any airport pictures of CL? Because I didn't search that far.
I didn't see anything. I didn't follow too much just because I had FOMO. Because I kind of did want to participate and go to Coachella with that lineup. And I saw the 88 Rising like headshots, and I was like, God damn it, Jackson's going to be there. Why?
Because I saw Jackson's picture. Boy. But
that guy.
back to 21. I'm surprised like no one caught any of the members in the airport. Same.
Right? Okay, so for the most part, I don't think this was leaked. I have no recollection. I would like to consider myself someone who's pretty plugged into Twitter and just seeing random things, especially with CL.
For sure.
But I had no idea. I don't know how they kept this under wraps. Shout out to the PR crew for like hiding the girls on planes. It's like, what? How?
They probably traveled alone.
Yeah. There's also a good possibility that Dara, Minji, and Bomb may have been in California, like maybe like a week or 2 weeks in advance, like at different times, of course. Just to like, you know, mess with like the scheduling and everything. And it just that is a coordinator's MVP award right there for getting all of this.
And there are no.
Yeah.
Well, mission accomplished.
For real. Big shout out to Dara's shoe that she kicked and went missing in the crowd.
Yeah.
And then she went and killed the performance anyways. And then of course we got to give it up to CL for you know, like having the stage and making it happen for all of them, because I think, you know, her what she's been through over the past couple of years, reinventing herself, reintroducing herself to a brand new audience of K-pop listeners and Western audience listeners, and now kind of being a very visible representative, I would say. Everything from the Met Gala outfit, still kind of etched in my brain, to all the
oh my god, that outfit, yeah,
to all the music that she's done recently. Never thought I'd get this much CL in 2021-22. So yeah, no, just
dare I say CL is also low key a Soju Talk Nation, because he made a spicy song.
Reach, you are a champion today on that one. If we can manifest a way for
boom
CL to come on to the Soju Talk main show podcast and really work in the idea of being spicy, then, you know, I think you are responsible for that, if that is the case.
I am a nobody. I have no numbers to any of their connections.
No, but you have good manifesting energy, is how I feel about that. All right, we went a little long on it, but I think it definitely deserves the extra time on the show today. All right, let's move into the main topic of our conversation today. We've got Queendom 2, episode 3. We've got a couple performances. We've got a couple, lead-ins. Let me just go over kind of the first 45 minutes of the show real quick. So it was a recap of the swap of the different songs going to different teams. So you had Hyorin selecting Luna, Uju Sonyo selecting G-Friend, VVZ, and then the last two, the Brave Girls and Kepler, being paired up, and they would switch songs. It was a long 45 minutes, I would say. They filled in a lot of things. There was a spoiler game, something like that. Reach, how did you feel about this episode, just in general? And kind of what are your thoughts about the way that they're characterizing some of the members?
Well, personally, I enjoyed it. It felt short because I really like Grammy competition, and I especially like all the. I don't know about you, Chris, but I really like. I wouldn't say like it, but I don't have a problem with the way. I guess 45 minutes before the first stage.
Yeah.
Best episode so far.
All right.
I mean, we're only 30 in, so it's kind of a small choice. But I think, in terms of content, best episode.
Nice. I think so. Let me kind of just clarify why I felt like the 45 minutes was long. I don't mind the backstory and the characterizations and like the fun stuff that happens, right? I just feel like the editing team or however they decided to edit this episode, I didn't understand it. They showed a lot of previews to outfits and stages that were just going to happen like in the next 10 minutes. So the surprise for me felt like it was pulled away a little bit. And then they cut to certain group activities for groups that you knew were not going to perform on that episode. And by what I mean by that is they show you the order, the performance order. So, the top 3 typically will go in the last half of the episode. So they were showing Kepler things, and it's like, Kepler's not performing today. It's like, we know this, that they're not performing. And yet, they gave us a lot of, just a lot of random shots of things that didn't feel like there was any sequence or order to it. I think that's for me why. I think usually I'm okay with it. I'll say the first 2 episodes, the editing felt different. So I was fine with it being long. But for me, the first 45 minutes is like, I feel so disconnected. But then, I think, yeah, go ahead.
If I can chime in, I think we're forgetting Kepler is a net child, right? All the other produced. So, didn't they put Kepler in the teaser and first part?
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's fair that Mnet would want Kepler definitely in front and center. I think my only issue, well, I wouldn't say issue. I would say the thing that rubs me the wrong way is the fact that the main story for Kepler in the first 2 episodes was that we're not just Mnet's children. I'm just like, the production, you decided to edit the story this way, and then you do the exact opposite with the amount of screen time and story that you're telling with the group, right? So I feel like there's a little bit of disconnect there. It's like, on the one hand, you're telling us they're not your children, but then you're treating them like your children. It's like, and then that there's no fault of the group themselves. They're working very hard. They're very cute. They're very adorable. I love the way they interact, especially with Brave Girls. So, nothing towards the members themselves. It's just, I feel like the producers are giving us mixed signals here. And if you've ever dated anyone giving you mixed signals reach, it's not a fun time.
Speaking of spoilers, I also caught it after I think time watching it. Spoiler, I watched it. There's this, the scene where they just arrive at their waiting rooms. We already saw what.
Say it one more time. You cut out a little bit.
We saw what Luna big moment. It was because that was what they were wearing.
Yeah.
Waiting room.
Yeah.
So I guess I understand that part of the spoiler, because when they came out,
yeah, it's just the way that it was cut, right? Like, I feel like there is a way to show Luna in their waiting room in their outfits where, within the context of the story, you don't know why they look that way or like why they're wearing that outfit, right? But then they kept cutting to the actual stage, and then you see the 3 outfits, and you're like, what? It's like, okay. But yeah, that just is my small thing about the show. It's like, I feel like, this episode specifically, I feel like it's edited very strange. Shout out to the guest in the audience. So they did have a couple idols this week. So they had Pentagon and the boys. And then they had G Idol, Minnie, Mion, and Yuchi. I will call her Yuchi. And then AOA, and Hechang, I think. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Just a quick couple of nice words to the contestants and the crossover swap challenge, which is just very fun and very epic if you do remember the AOA performance doing Egotistic by Mamamoo. All right, let's get into the performances. So we got the first one, Wuju Sonyo, Cosmic Girls covering Navelera by G-Friend. Some of the stories throughout were, for me, Exy's hair. Thank you. A change of color. And then Monsta X coming through with Jihooni and Hungwon. I really want to pronounce these names correctly, so I've really taken my time. What did you think about the stage, the performance, and just overall about G-Friend, SojuSessions covering G-Friend's Navalera?
First of all, shout out to the team that remixes all the first stage. Uh, they're usually, even the music is not really, for me at least, not heat friendly, I guess, for me. But these songs are, boy, like I download immediately. And especially, I really like how they mix Lara. They add their X's rap highlight point, and the chanting part. Even attempt to do that. I really like the theme. Did not like the CG they did. So with trolling ocean, they have this. I guess like you said, like a cheap CG on the side of some smoke. Threw me off, but then they slayed that one. Of all the three, I would say second best of that night.
Nice.
And
But
no, done.
yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, I echo what you said about the kind of rearrangement and a little. I don't know if this is officially like a remix, but there's definitely new parts incorporated into this song, right? It definitely captures the G-Friend feel. When the strings come in, you immediately feel G-Friend, but then your eyes tell you it's SojuSessions. I love the dark fantasy concept for the stage as well. Very technically sound, I would say, top to bottom. All the members performed it well. Yorm, I'm going to call her Yorm. Yorm's right? Yeah, Yummers. Her story was that she wants to showcase more of her dancing ability than she showed in the past, right? Where she feels like she has done SojuSessions stuff as a dancer, but now she really wants to showcase herself as a focal point. And she got a lot of tips from Juhani and Hyungwon from Monsta X. I think that's a cool inclusion to have Monsta X come through and really guide them and coach them in different ways. And she pulled it off really nicely on stage as well. And then I do want to shout out Yeonjung's vocals. I feel like she's always been a very strong vocalist for the group, but it's really nice to see her on stage doing it in a competition show, especially in front of a crowd. I think the crowd responds really nicely to her, at least as far as I'm interpreting it on the show. Any closing thoughts that you have for SojuSessions covering Navalera?
Well, I just want to say I really like when Monsta X came out and helped them, because it's really rare to see, I guess, Hunbae with kind of interact the way they. I feel like they're really close. These days, it's just like you don't see as much within. Yoram did great. I love the stage. I like the concept for the CG.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see that collaboration, right? And I think the process is always a nice part to see for shows like this. And it does add a little bit of drama to what happens on stage. But again, they pulled it off quite well. I think I like this stage because it's SojuSessions doing a G-Friend. But just objectively, kind of in the scope of what the challenge is, I think I have a stage I like for a little more, a little to a lot more. And this is not a knock on G-Friend and SojuSessions. I keep calling it G-Friend. I just want to call it G-Friend. I know it's BBZ, okay, guys. I know it's BBZ. But it's just one of those where I really
G-Friend for life.
G-Friend for life, for real. Like I'm just gonna call him VVZ G Friend. We're just gonna do that. Okay, that's what the show is. G Friend is on the show, and that's it. Because, man, they're doing all the songs. But yeah,
do you?
Let's just move on to the song that I'm alluding to, the cover. So we have Luna covering "Shake It" by Sistar.
Yep.
My goodness. All right, let me just start with amazing that Hyorin came over and helped them out, coached them. Really cute that they were working on the choreography together. It's kind of a early 2010s, a little bit of sus choreography, but the way they play it off was kind of endearing. It's like it's kind of cute. It's like, okay, fine. And then it wasn't a point of emphasis, I would say, on the stage to begin with. The song itself. Oh, actually, and then one more thing. So I love the process of showing Heejin. Pretty sure it's Heejin, right? I wrote down Heejin. I could.
Well, depends on what you're going to talk about here.
Heejin and Eve splitting the responsibilities for the choreography.
Oh, yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. I've made a mistake on notes before writing different members' names, so I just sometimes I gotta double check.
Rhyme.
It's. I mean, there's 12 members. I'm so sorry, but I know their faces. I swear to God. Yeah, really cool process showing kind of Heejin taking the lead with the choreography, and then Eve, very capable as well. She is an amazing dancer. So it does make a lot of sense that she is organizing them, at least on the back half of the choreography. So really cool. The song? Man. All right. So what first thing that came to mind is they have a B-side called Wow on the most recent EP. That is also a very retro song. So that the first kind of evokes that feeling for me. But the way that they took a Sistar song, kept the spirit of the song, it was just like, shake it. Okay, I'm not gonna sing it, but it's stuck in my head, right? Like like the Sistar part of it. But there is a way where it feels very Luna, right? There's like a bright Luna-ness to it. And then 1950s concept, very theatrical. Got suits, got some nerds, and then you got pencil skirts. What more could you ask for? Reach, you're an enormous Luna fan. How are you feeling, sir?
Boy, we've been waiting since episode 2 for the live stage, front of the crowd. Here we are. Got it. They delivered. Best stage of the episode. How can I begin? I mean, Heejin is just I think everyone doesn't understand how great of a dancer. If you see she pops like God, and she can teach everyone. I don't know how this group is not popular in Korea, But I love the stage. I love the musical-esque theme. Musical-esque theme they doing.
Very, very musical theme. Kind of in a bar, like a 1950s bar, but then kind of showing like the city, big city feel. Those suits, right? No jackets on some of the members. It's just the suspenders with baggy pants. Oh my brain. Go on, continue. I cannot.
What was I? How am I gonna?
You blacked out. It's okay.
Yeah. I watched it so many times, but when you start talking about it, everything just fill your mind. I want to talk about. Let's talk about okay. Let's talk about my favorite part, the Kim lip growl. You know what I'm talking about?
I have it written down too.
The Kim lip. Oh my god, I had. And then, of course, the outfit change. They didn't just change They didn't just go outside and change. They had their back dancers rip it out and just, hey, we're here. We're Luna. This is what we do on stage. And then I love the cuts when they switch to especially when they switch to XE. They're like, cause I can tell. She was so proud of her stage. see it like, yeah, we did our stage, we did great, no mistakes. I'm satisfied. And then I don't know. I feel like when she saw that stage, with her stage, she's like, like her happiness face kind of wanes away. Like we could have done better. And props to Luna, who I guess I don't wanna bad, but like they demoralized their this stage.
Yeah, I love the reaction shots that they go to the other groups. You know, G-Friend was very happy and excited for them. Kepler, just children, just happy to just be there. You know, Hyorin, you know, she was glowing. It's like it felt like she was just so happy for her little sisters to do her song, and it's like, oh my god, amazing. I was just like, great. And then we have Brave Girls. You know, they very. I feel like Brave Girls and Uju Sonia had similar reactions, right?
Yeah.
Especially Exy. But just to kind of set the table of like what this means for the rest of the show, I think that they utilize what it means to perform in front of a live audience second best. I still think Hyorin's was probably the best so far, but it's how do you engage the audience? How do you do things on stage to keep everyone's attention in different aspects to different members? I mean, freaking Chu and the bar scene where she's dragged across on the I think they put a sheet on the tablecloth. Yeah. Brilliant, right? It's like, it's kind of those little like small visual details where it's like, oh yeah, this is definitely a stage performance. In addition to just, yeah, it's a play, right? And then they had the curtain and they were doing like a little curtain bit. And then of course, like you said, the rip away clothes just like blew my mind. It's like, oh, this is what we're doing. And, you know, shout out to my favorite member, Eve, and her outfit.
Calm down now.
I can't really think anymore, so we're just gonna end it there because I love this song. I'm listening to the song nonstop, so I absolutely love it. And yeah, very thematic. I think that is what really pops as far as what you want from a stage performance, right? And I think the concern that Exy has is, I'm just interpreting this, is that you know, they did something that is very Uju Sonyo parallel, right? Where, you know, they did something kind of, you know, that's in the wheelhouse, where like within Luna, I don't think we've seen a bright concept for Luna for 3 years. So thank you for coming back, coming home, Luna. Please do more of these. I hope this is a jumping off point for just like more bright concepts. All right.
Yeah, I was about to echo that that Luna, you know, if you look at their, I guess, main title tracks, it's not really, you know, this happy go-to bright vibes like this stage. That's why such a 180. Appreciate.
Yeah, right. It's a surprise, but it's familiar.
We want, and also to your point, I think talk about stage. I think it's also kind of a similar line their first stage, right? It's fantasy like serious with their time concept first stage, and this one.
Yeah,
you know, it's I mean, they're two different stages, but they have like this vibe.
Yeah. Uju Sonyo seems like they're creating a similar thread between the two stages, where Luna, it's just like each stage is going to be different, and it's like, yes, that's how you really just like captures people's imagination by surprising them, right?
Yep.
Man, Luna, God, amazing. This is what we wanted, and we got it. So thank you to the amazing members. All right, the last performance for this episode is Brave Girls covering Mask by Kepler. A bit of a surprise, I guess. I mean, Kepler doesn't have very many songs. The storyline here is that 3 out of the 4 members tested positive for COVID and were experiencing symptoms, very rough symptoms. Yuna was the only one that I that did not get COVID. So she was holding down the fort, and then they were cutting away to Minyoung, Yujung, and Eunji, coughing, really feeling kind of the illness, really unfortunate and sad. But they powered through. The stage concept was a heist. Now You See Me inspiration with like sleight of hand and illusions and suits. We got more suits. I'm so happy for suits. Give me more. Reach, what did you think about Brave Girls covering Mask and really making it their own?
This remix is the best. I think it's my favorite of the 3 songs. Because I really like the Brave. I'm a sucker for the Brave entertainment, the Brave Brothers sound. It did just connect very to the ear. I did repeat it more as I do. If they're great, but perhaps as for, I think we all know they're gonna do Mask because Kepler only have 2 songs. They did also strategy planning part of the episode. They were trying to do the Girl 99 songs, and I was praying, please don't do this. They're very relatable because they're they are older and they try their best. I think they try to go outside their boundaries, but glad in the earlier stages they kind of stick in their comfort zone. Choreo, Brave Girls is great, but I think they're kind of they held back on choreo. They singing, I think, is the best of the 3. I mean, the one that's coughing, what's her name?
Minyoung.
Yeah. I think besides Hyorin, I think she has like the best so far in the competition. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's my far.
Yeah,
best song, the 3.
Yeah. No, wow. Okay. I'm very surprised. I liked the bit that they were doing, that they were, pretending that they were going to do the everybody shake your body. No, 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 no. It's like, oh, I don't think you're going to do that, but you're scaring a lot of people. But then they chose Mask. In a really cool way that they remixed it and made it a Brave Girl song. I mean, it starts off city pop and it moves into like a funk sound. And then Brave Bros from 2005 decided to put dubstep, which
Brave sound.
It works for a stage. I think that I'm okay with that. But listening to the song on its own, it's like, oh yeah, the song shifts in a way that I don't particularly like.
Really?
I
love it
musically. Oh well, there you go. Well, you and I are both old, so I mean, it's something we're both familiar with. I think just musically, if I didn't know a stage existed, it would catch me off guard. But because there was a stage, I can at least visualize why it exists. Like the why is okay, right? And sometimes when there's a switch up like that in a lot of songs, it's like you don't understand the why. Me personally, I just don't. Or this, it's like I can understand it, so I'm okay with it, but it's not like my favorite thing in the song. Okay. But like you said, Minyoung, her vocals, I think were a really nice. How should I phrase this? Like it gives the character of Brave Girls for this song, right? Her and Yujung, definitely. Yujung, just that smile and that smirk in the corner of her mouth. But I do want to go into what you said about the choreography. So Brave Girls, to me, don't feel like the choreography heavy group, right? They do have Eunji, who is a fairly accomplished dancer. But I think they do a nice job utilizing the stage where it doesn't have to just be choreography. They can be doing acting stuff on one side, or they can be doing like the laser show. But the laser show makes sense with the story because they're robbing the bank and there's lasers that they have to like navigate, and then at the very end they're just like making it rain with the Brave Bros money, and it's like all that's like works, right? It's really fun because it's a stage performance, and I think that's how you can kind of hide the lack of choreography or the de-emphasis of choreography. So I think they made it work for themselves. For me, I love the stage. My only concern with Brave Girls is that the general voting audience just won't vote for them for whatever reason. Whether it's and this is just my like anecdotal like observation, right? Where I feel like typically the top two performances, it's very clear, like objectively, like, oh, which ones are the top two. So in round one, Hyoden killed it. Uju Sonyo, I would say like that makes sense to me. So like if you're just a general audience member, it's like, okay, I can see those two. Everything else from there is like, who's your favorite? So then you just kind of vote for like who you like, right? You don't really think too much to rank past two. And I feel like that's where Brave Girls is going to take a hit, where it's like after you get past three, you're just kind of slotting in who's familiar to you, right? And I think that would make sense why Brave Girls didn't do so well in round one, even though I love that stage. I think that's actually the top three stage for me. And here, this is not like a top stage relative to like Luna, right? My fear is that people won't consider it a top two stage. I think it definitely could be. The top three stage definitely could be. But then the fear is that they drop down to 6, right? So, just.
I mean, Brave Girls in the popularity, they are. Yeah, I'm looking at they're at the least of the 6. Out of the 6 members, they got popularity is such a hard,
Yeah, it's
because you can't control people gonna like.
Yeah, because
And
go ahead.
the stage, I'm looking at the count page.
The views, right? Yeah.
They're actually not bad. There are 2.5 million right now. No, I'm 2.1 Brave Girl. 2.5 is Tonyo. 3.
And no, it's understandable that the other fan bases and just other groups that have been more visible, more present over the past 5 years are getting the views, right? And then with Kepler, the group was formed because of views, in part because of views. That's all I'll say. Again, nothing against the girls. The girls are fine. They're great. It's just there are circumstances in which it makes sense why the group is the way it is. That's all. Yeah, no. Hopefully, Brave Girls will pull through. Continue to do stages. Hopefully, they don't get eliminated. Hopefully, no one gets eliminated, because I think it's still a great collection of variations of sounds and styles in K-pop. Right?
No way Luna gonna get.
No way. Yeah, I think they're fine. I think it's kind of funny that they were last for the first challenge, and then that will probably never happen again.
How do you like that decision? Just last.
I think it was kind of dumb, to be honest. It's like, really? It's like you couldn't just wait. So like,
But what are they gonna realistically? How are they gonna give the live vote?
That's true.
Because they could give another audience, but then
Yeah,
it wouldn't be controlled because only they gonna see one.
you make
So
a good
it's
point,
hard.
actually. Yeah, I think in the moment, I think you just have to give them a 0 for just not being there, and then hope that they don't get last in the next challenge.
I don't like it, but I argue it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most even way to look at it, right? Or it's just not a very favorable outcome, but I don't think there is a better outcome or better way to do it, right? Considering
No,
it's all a time crunch.
this is low key. Mnet, I think they got a new favorite. They set up the story for them. Kind of, it's like a redemption. Can you say a redemption? Like clawing their way out of the bottom to the top, hopefully at the end.
That would be kind of cool if at the end of this, like Luna, like it shows this trajectory of just like climbing to the top and with all the challenges.
The
Right.
great part is,
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, you're in.
I was just gonna I feel like the two like challenge spots right now are like between Luna and Wuju Sonyo, to see like really who's gonna take it to the top. But go ahead, what were you gonna say?
What was I? Forgot. Forgot. I'm old. I forgot.
No worries. All right. So just kind of wrapping things up. The previews have another group crying. We have Kepler and Yujin in the corner, crying her eyes out. I guess this is a thing now. I guess we're just going to preview members crying with zero context. That's all. I went into my bit last episode about why I think it's ridiculous. And that is all because Wuju Sonyo got second with XC crying. And
Sola was
awesome.
falling.
Oh, God, yeah, hers was rough. It felt like someone like hurt her. Like, you okay? I'm here for you. Imagine.
Oh, can't forget. Totally forgot about that. Cardi B approved.
Cardi B approved?
Do you not see it? The Twitter?
No.
She wrote something that she liked Luna's stage.
Cardi B is a K-pop fan more than just Blackpink. I love it.
She tweeted, I like it.
Yo, Cardi B, shout out to Cardi B, raising your kids watching Queendom 2. Let's go.
You missed that? You didn't see that at all?
I stay away from the internet. For not in general, but just like I'm probably more disconnected than I should be, considering I'm part of like a K-pop community. So
that happened.
Yeah, I think it's just times where it's just like I miss things,
Also, about the teaser, we all missed because of the crying. Hyorin dangling in the middle of the stage.
I think I missed that. I might have turned it off by that point.
Oh, I think it's the tail end.
Okay.
Might want again.
Is she just gonna run away with this? This show? That would be a very big departure from Queendom 1. Again, shout out to Bomb for just showing up, but she was not put in a position to succeed, considering the different challenges, right? But this one, it's like, oh no, Hyorin's just gonna win everything. Okay, cool.
Saw that teaser, I'm like, to wait 7 days for this?
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, that does it. Fun conversation. I love this show. I'm having the time of my life. This episode specifically, all of my favorites were given plenty of screen time. So just to recap, I love Exy. Thank you for the hair. Yoram, she is the other one that is very much hurting my ability to focus on just Exy. So thank you for that. And then Eve. God, Eve. Okay, that's all I'll say. Great outfit, Eve. Great leadership.
Eve.
Man. Any closing thoughts for you, sir? As we head into episode 4.
How can I close thoughts when it's open? Not even ended yet. I'm gonna go back and watch more stages. Yes, we should all be doing that. And the songs are all on Spotify. So if you are all interested to just hear the songs without kind of visual components, I've been loving them the past 2 days with the new songs, and then the past week or so with
all of the songs from the first 2 episodes. So yeah, check them all out. They're all great. Let them live in your ear all week while you wait for the next episode. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Soju Sessions on the Soju Talk Nation podcast feed. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and continue the conversation on the Soju Talk K-pop podcast Discord. For Reach, I'm Crispy, and this has been the Soju Sessions.
Bye.